Hey guys, welcome to Two Dudes Talking. I'm DJ Schroep. That's Dustin Ovitz.
Stop.
All right. We got a fight this Saturday. We've had some fights on the island. We haven't really talked about them very much, but last week's was kind of meh. Wednesdays was kind of meh.
Yeah.
But I'm having high hopes for Whittaker versus Till. That one seems to be an interesting fight. You have Till moving up from welter to middle. You have Whittaker, who hasn't fought since October, since losing his belt to Adesanya. And Whittaker's always a fun guy to watch. So, I mean, it like I said, it's got some good fights in it. But let's start off with Whittaker and Till. Let's start off with the steak. We'll get to the veggies later. Look, I mean, Whittaker's a fun guy to watch. He's super high energy. He pushes forward. He inflicts damage. He takes damage. He's never gonna be accused of a boring fight. And you know, I was sad that he lost his title. I thought he was going to be a champ for a while, given his fight winning streak coming into winning the title. But Adesanya's a killer too. The way I see it is, it's going to be tough for Till, given his last fight was against Kelvin Gastelum, and he barely squeaked out against him. And so I just think he's gonna have a tough time with Whittaker's energy. What do you think?
Yeah, look, I have to agree with you. Whittaker is top flight. Look, Till could surprise somebody. It's happened before. But I don't see how Whittaker loses this one, unless of course it goes to the judges, and then who the hell knows what's going to happen based on the judges' history of screwing up fights. A lot of them that I can think of. So, yeah, I agree with you. I think Whittaker, I don't even think he lets it go the distance. If it does, I'd be shocked.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm coining the phrase. I've said it before. You know, a tale of two fights. You know, I think that it's going to start off a little slow, because I think that Whittaker coming back. I mean, October, that's a long layoff. So he's going to start off. He's going to feel him out. Till, I mean, look, he's the smaller fighter here. In order to engage with Whittaker, he's going to have to push forward. I don't know how much of that he really wants. And I'm not accusing him of being scared of Whittaker, but I mean, Whittaker's gonna ragdoll him a little bit, I think. And I think that is Till going to be able to fight through that. I don't see it happening. I see third round KO with Whittaker coming out on top.
You'll take third round? I'll take second round. I think they'll feel each other out in the first. And then I think second round Whittaker, I don't know though. Yeah, I'll take Whittaker in the second. Why not?
Yeah, I just don't see Till coming out of this.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, Whittaker wants another shot at, the champ.
Yeah.
So he wins. If he wins, he gets another shot at the champ.
Yeah. We'll see where this goes. Next fight you have this fight, man.
Straight out of
if it happened 15, 20 years ago, I'd be all over this. But it's happening in 2020 at Fight Island. Which for obvious reasons is happening on Fight Island, because I don't think that this fight could get sanctioned in the States. You got Shogun Hua, and you have, is this Little Nog?
Yeah,
Little Nog, right?
Yeah, Little Nog.
This is a Little Nog, the littler of the two. I don't know, man. I don't like peeing against either of the Nogs.
Yeah.
They're pretty tough guys.
They're hard to put away.
And but I don't want to take anything away from the former light heavy champ in Shogun Hua. It just depends on what kind of Shogun we get. Are we getting an in shape one? Or we get, I mean, I don't know who we're getting out of this one. I suspect it's going to be a super slow fight.
Well, like Snowman versus Tim the Maniac Silva?
Yeah, I don't anticipate a lot of movement here.
They're going to go I think it's going to be a kind of straightforward fight, north-south, if you will. I
But
don't know how Little Nog competes with I mean, Rue is a little smaller, and I imagine he's going to be a little faster.
well, I mean, according to the stats, I mean, it's only 6'1" and 6'2", Little Nog being the taller of the two.
God, I thought
So
Rue was much shorter than that.
yeah, I mean the age, 44 to Shogun's 38. So
It's a big difference.
which probably means Little Nog's more like 48 and not 44.
So wait, is the next fight after this going to be Shogun's brother versus Big Nog?
I don't know, man. I mean, dude, I don't see this being a super fun fight to watch. I think it's going to be like second round, someone dies of exhaustion.
Hey, that's mean.
But it's true. I mean,
look, I'll take just because of the age and because 15 years ago in Pride, this would have been amazing. I am picking against Little Nog. I'll take Shogun.
Yeah, I'm going to take Little Nog KO, hammer fists the hell out of Shogun in the mid-second round.
I got
and
Shogun
it's done.
knocking out Little Nog in the first round.
I mean, I think Shogun's going to have maybe like a Rampage-esque fight. And I'm talking like Rampage against Emelianenko, like Bellator not too long ago. That kind of ugliness. Next fight is super interesting to me. You have Fabricio Verdum versus Alexander
Gustafson.
Coming out of retirement to then move up in weight class.
Yep.
The very thing John Jones wants to do. So, which I don't know. Sidebar, I think that there's maybe a collision course between Goose and Jones in heavyweight, maybe.
That's
I don't
what
know.
I was just going to say.
Right?
I was going to say, do you think they're setting it up that even if Gustafson doesn't win, which it hurts me to pick against him, but I have to this fight. It's his first fight at heavyweight. He's coming off retirement. His retirement basically has been COVID. I hate to say it. Like, he was going to start training in 2020 and COVID. Yeah. So I got to pick Verdum here. Again, Gustafson's by far the taller fighter and the reach advantage, but I think Verdum, being the ridiculous jiu-jitsu champion that he is in his life, including like Abu Dhabi 2 or 3 times or like 15,000 times, whatever it is, his fight's going to the ground. Verdum's going to get inside. It's going to go down. Gustafson's not going to be prepared to have somebody that heavy land him for freaking 15 minutes, however long he does it.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I think him stepping into heavyweight is a complete setup by the UFC to have him and Jones fight at heavyweight.
Yeah.
And then the winner I
think Verdum's going to spoil the party, but I think that is
Jones
all
can fight Verdum at heavyweight.
No, but I'm saying all intentions are the collision course between these two again.
Well, yeah, okay. So let's say that collision course does happen. So it doesn't matter who wins this fight. Do you think that either of these two guys can beat Bazookas?
No.
Yeah, okay.
No. And me picking against John Jones is a big deal, but I don't think they beat him. No way.
What, you don't think Jones can beat Bazooka either?
No.
Yeah. If you don't know who Bazooka is, just look up Ngannou. Bazooka.
Yeah. There's just no I think Ngannou is like on a collision course for the belt, and he's just a tough.
Who is the champ right now at heavyweight?
It's Miocic.
Oh, the guy whatever. That's right. It's him versus Cormier 9,000.
Yeah, right. I mean, look, at the end of the day, that's what the UFC, I think, can make some money on. They can sell a Gustafson Jones fight. Another one.
I got one better for you. You ready for this?
Huh.
Miocic loses to Cormier or wins and retires. So Cormier, or the belt, has the belt, or the belt is vacant. They figure out the Jones crap. Jones comes in, fights Cormier for the title.
Yeah.
And the winner of that fights Bazookas. So Cormier finally gets his hands on Jones again.
I'd be so mad if I was Ngannou.
Well, me too, but at the same time, wouldn't you like to see Jones versus Cormier, what is it, 4?
Yeah.
I guess it's
I'd
3
like-
because Jones got banned
yeah.
for one, right?
No, I'd like to see that.
At heavyweight?
Yeah. I don't mind that either. I don't mind Cormier and Jones running it back again, but at heavyweight. We'll see.
But, so, okay, let's say, we'll talk about that fight eventually, but that to me could be a double retirement fight, truthfully. Meaning DC Stipe.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, ladies.
Anywho's, let's go to the ladies. We got Carla Esparza, Marina Rodriguez. I mean, Carla, former champ.
Yep.
Looking fit, looking right. Again, another tough fighter, so I'm not going to pick against her. But Marina's got she's 12-0-2.
Yeah, that's an amazing record.
So
I didn't even realize she had 12.
Yeah. The thing that stuck out were the 2 draws. I was like, whoa, 2 draws.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see this going to the ground. I mean, Carla's a great wrestler, but I just don't think she can effectively do anything against a jiu-jitsu player like Rodriguez. So
yeah,
this is probably going into deep water. 4th round tap out, I think maybe.
Because I got.
Or, I'm sorry, 3rd round tap out. Not it's not a championship fight, so it's 3 rounds.
You got 3rd round tap out? I'm gonna take. I'll take 2nd round tap. So that's 2 fights in a row we have going deep water. Because Verdum, I gotta figure is going to the ground if he can get inside the 39,000 inch reach or whatever it is of Gustafson.
Right. I think going back, I think Verdum's gonna win and spoil the show. But
I mean, he's been in shape. He's been in heavyweight forever. He's been a jiu-jitsu practitioner, I'm pretty sure, his whole life.
Yeah.
Gustafson's just coming off retirement, and as I said, his training got whatever.
Yeah, and unless it's on the feet, I don't think Alexander
if he stays standing, Gustafson's going to take his head off.
Yeah.
Gustafson is like 6'5". It's huge.
Verdum's a pretty damn tough guy, so we'll see what happens.
Guy that used to be the heavyweight, or maybe he was light heavyweight. No, he was a heavyweight. Super tall.
Oh, you mean the kid from the Netherlands? Struve.
Struve.
Yeah.
That's basically what Gustafson's going to do to Verdum if it stays on the feet. He's going to look like he's a foot taller than him.
But he's not. He's only an inch taller. But he's not. He's an inch. And that's what's crazy to me is, as tall as Gustafson is, this is heavyweight. And this is Verdum. And
Gustafson always looks taller because of how lean he used to be.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't think he carries his weight well, so we'll see. Anyway, speaking of keeping it on with the UFC, one last thing on this topic.
Your boy
Dana White saying he was tired. And story is a couple hours ago was that he's leaving. He was on a plane, leaving Abu Dhabi, leaving Fight Island, noting that he was tired.
Negotiating with John Jones.
You predicted earlier that he may have COVID. We're not saying that he has COVID, but look,
I hope he doesn't.
I think that there's no excuse for him to leave. You're in Abu Dhabi. You're in the fight bubble. For him to leave is a little bit suspicious and head scratching to me. It's not that he was going to another event, another country, and decided not to, and just decided to come home, or he's coming home early. Look, it doesn't make any sense to me. You've already been there for how many? 3 weeks?
Yeah.
What's another couple days? It's Tuesday. So why can't you stay till Saturday night and fly? He's flying private. He can fly out directly after.
Yeah, well, the fights at that stupid 4 a.m. there on Saturday, or are they actually at a reasonable time? Doesn't matter.
Oh, probably at a stupid time, but irrelevant. I mean, he's still leaving early.
Well, unless there's something going on, but I'm assuming he doesn't have COVID. Let's just assume that to begin with. So unless there's something going on with him trying to negotiate or get a deal done with Jones or some other huge name or multiple names where he's got I got to go face this person or be in the office and have Although really, in the age of COVID, why would you be face to face with them? You do it
And
over
you
video
can't,
call anyway.
and like I said, you can't wait
No.
a few more days.
It doesn't matter. You would zoom it in or whatever, Blue Jeans or Teams or Google, whatever that thing is, Duo and crap.
It's 4 days away. 4 days.
Yeah.
So why is he leaving?
Strange.
Wife found out he was cheating all these years. I mean, he got to go face her. I don't know.
His graduation? No, wait, it's July.
I don't know. I mean,
kid's going to college.
Fuck, man. Like,
Still July.
You look, and I don't
Kid got
know his
arrested.
personal situation. I was just talking out of my ass. But look, wait.
I'm guessing here.
Look, like I said, there's just no excuse for him to leave. I think it's bullshit. But anyway, I think we both agree that he can wait the 4 days, watch this fight.
Yeah.
Look, I told you, I've been on both sides where I've heard at the UFC and at Bellator, I've heard fighters go, Dana's not here tonight. And you could just see it on their face, how much it sucks for them. At Bellator, when Scott wouldn't come to an event, the fighters knew. The fighters know when the HNIC is not there, you know? And look, if they're not there to see them live, congratulate them, the fighters win, they come over to them in the octagon and, you know, or the fans and go, hey, I want this. Did you see that? I want fight tonight. I want this. You know, they lose that. They lose that. They lose being able to impress the boss in person and speak to him directly. And and look, you're right. If he was saying, I don't sit in on non-title fight cards.
We talked about this beforehand. So what I had said is, look, if he's no longer going to be there for non-championship fights, which might be the case, I don't know, then I personally have no issue with that. If that's his current new stance, if he's like, look, I'm not going to be there for non-championship fights, just too many events, I can't do it. I've got other crap going on with my family or whatever that I need to be there for especially during a pandemic. In my book, it's like, look, yeah, okay, you do you. You don't need to be at every fight.
But regardless, it better be a damn emergency because, again, 4 days away, that flight is no joke, even though you're flying private. That is a no-joke flight. He's still in the air right now. He will be in the air when we wake up tomorrow. I mean,
it's got to be 18 hours in the air.
I mean, it's a long time in the air.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it better be like the end of his world wherever he's going in order for him to have justify leaving.
Yeah.
Justify leaving.
Look, the only reason I can think of leave that quickly is that something went wrong with family, or he unfortunately has COVID, or somebody in his family has COVID, which would be something going wrong. Like if something went wrong like that, dude, you got to go immediately. Gone. Get on the plane.
Again, though, even if they did, it's not like he can be around them.
Well, I understand that, but you want to be there for your family, so.
I don't know. He's left them for a lot less, right?
Yeah, I agree.
So let's move on. Let's move on. You wanted to talk about the bubbles. All the bubbles. Bubbles.
Well, they're not really all bubbles though. Like MLB and NFL are not in a bubble. NBA is in a bubble. NHL will be in a bubble. MLS is in a bubble. The WNBA is in a bubble? I want to say they are.
Yeah, they are.
So, okay, we'll talk about NBA. The bubble is apparently working. They did a whole boatload of tests and had 0 positive tests. 0.
Well, the 2 that tested, a couple weeks back, quarantined themselves and they're fine. Right. We had one situation where a guy left the bubble to go pick up his takeout.
Yeah.
Because he was and so he had to quarantine, I think, for 8 days.
Yeah, I think it was
somewhere around. Yeah. So it seems to be working.
Yeah. Look,
I commend the NBA doing. Yeah, commend them for that.
And MLS is apparently working. I haven't seen any testing numbers out of them, but the games have been great. I know you watched El Tráfico or whatever we're calling it, the LA Derby.
I enjoyed it. I was texting you. I'm like, I like the way they set it up.
Yeah, it's great.
You know, I feel it's cool because it almost feels like you're like looking into a punch bowl. right? Like, or like an aquarium, right? It's kind of cool in that way. I don't know.
They haven't figured out the camera angle when the ball comes closest to the bottom of what would be our TV. They like go down. There's kind of that dead spot where the players disappear for a second, right on the sidelines where the teams are.
I kind of like it. I don't know. It feels a little bit different. It feels like I'm watching foosball.
I think it's great.
Different. It's entertaining. I like how, you're up against this big giant wall. Like I said, it feels like you're looking into an aquarium. So, yeah. Look, the NFL is not quite a bubble, but
no.
They've also got rid of the one preseason game, deemed it unnecessary.
And they agreed to testing supposedly every day during training camp or whatever they're calling it. And then every other day or I wasn't clear on the amount of testing to occur, during the season. Like if it's every other day, I think that would be okay.
But that just tells me that they don't trust the players. They know the players are going to break their own bubbles. The NFL is not I think the only way that these sports should be able to run is if they're doing it like the MLS or the NBA.
Or the NHL.
The rest of them, or the NHL. The rest of them, they're doing this semi-closed, but we're going to trust our guys to do it's bullshit. It's all bullshit.
Well, here's the problem. It's not just on the players, right? Because the players can be great. They could stay at home. They could be in their own little personal bubble. But if they have families and a family member comes over, or, they have a kid, a daughter, son, whatever, that decides like, I'm going out tonight and I'm going to go see some friends because, COVID doesn't scare me or whatever. And all of a sudden, boom, the kid gets it and it's,
half these time these guys are visiting various cities and they're hanging out with people. They're doing their thing. Look, let's not pretend. They're going to do what they do. What they're saying is, we know that these players are going to live whatever life they can while they're playing. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to test them to verify that they're still okay. Yeah. To me, that tells me that they should have just shut it down. But unfortunately, because there's too much money in the air, they need all of that money. They need all of that TV money, and everybody needs to get paid. So that's what's happening. They are picking their economy over the health of their players. Mm-hmm. And look, there are players that have voiced concerns. We're probably going to see some players who opt out of the season. We'll see. But it's going to have to be a player with like FU type money to be able to do it.
Tom Brady.
Yeah, exactly. But Tom Brady is going to rock. So look, I mean, at the end of the day, I think that if you don't do it the way the other leagues are doing it, then you shouldn't be doing it. College football looks like the Power 5 divisions are talking about doing this as a spring season, more than likely because they want to see how the NFL shakes out. And that to me is super smart. Let's see how the NFL handles it. Let's see what comes out of that. Then for the health and safety of our players who are, not, millionaires and, they also need the season to go off too. There's a lot of money at stake. But look, they can learn from the NFL's mistakes or successes and then move forward.
Yeah, look, I mean, MLS, let's take the MLS, let's take the NHL, let's take the NBA, and I think the WNBA off the table because I think all four of those are doing a bubble. I know two of them are, and I'm pretty sure the WNBA and the NHL are. So the NBA and MLS specifically has proved so far that it can work in a bubble. The NFL is not doing a bubble. I mean, you've got pilots, you've got staff, you've got whoever you travel with, you've got walking through airports, you've got driving in and around the city.
Multiple variables,
deliveries. I mean, there's so much that can go wrong as I sit here scratching my eye. I just think that the NFL particularly, because it's such a contact sport where they're, laying on each other or hitting, breathing, sweating all over each other. I think if there's an explosion in cases, it's going to be there. I mean, right. I understand baseball's not doing a bubble either, but at least in baseball, you're not really that close to people minus like the catcher and the umpire or the guy when you're standing on base. So the exposure is a little bit less.
A lot less. There's droplets everywhere on an NFL field.
Yeah,
Droplets everywhere. It's you might as well be in a pool. There's so many droplets.
Might as well be in a pool. It's like swimming, only wetter. I stole that from somebody, by the way. I did not create that.
But yeah, I mean, if they're not doing it the right way, then they're not doing it. All they're doing is saying, we're just going to test our guys to make sure we're safe. They're not really putting together a real plan, and that's why Russell Wilson and a lot of other players have come out and said, there's no plan here, guys. I can't come back unless I see a plan.
We want to play. I thought that was brilliant, other players, by the way. The ones that were tweeting it or however they were getting it out, that was fantastic. That was great. And I was also fascinated fascinated is not the right word, stunned to read about, you mentioned Russell Wilson, how he said he's worried he's going to have to miss the birth of his kid due to the fact of, if he has to be in a bubble or something like that, he doesn't want to potentially jeopardize either his pregnant, I'm assuming they're married, wife, or his unborn child, or then very, very, very newly born child. I'm like, that is an impossible choice. If you have to choose between making boatloads of money, as he does because he's a top flight quarterback, or being there for the birth of your kid, how do you decide that and be okay with it either way you choose? I mean, it's impossible. All right, let's switch gears for a second, though, because I just don't know. What do you think of the Blue Jays being denied to play their home games in Toronto, which it was the Canadian government, so you have to figure that means they're denied from playing in Canada. What do you think?
I say bravo, Canada.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, look, they obviously have a national plan. Mm-hmm. We do not. And they're not bending over backwards for anybody. And they are not going to adjust or give an exemption to anybody, even a sports team.
Caveat, they are, but it's for the NHL. But I think the NHL bubble is happening in Canada.
Exactly. Those two leagues are different, though. Those two leagues are handling the pandemic
compared to NHL in Canada. Come on.
But no, I'm just saying they're handling the pandemic differently.
Oh, yeah.
So
but,
I'm comfortable with them saying, nope, this is how we bubble, and this is how we're protecting our players and the people who work around our players. The Major League Baseball is not doing that. They just want to be able to travel in and out of the country as they need.
Yep.
Canada's not having that shit. And bravo to them for doing it and saying we're not bending over backwards for them. Will they end up playing in Buffalo in their minor league affiliates stadium?
So. That'd be great.
I think Pittsburgh was out there.
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to work. They'd have to share.
And Florida. And Florida. And so, I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter anyway. I think if they do it in Buffalo, at least there's a closer proximity to friends and family, I guess.
Yeah.
If you do it in Pittsburgh and or Florida, you are the team that's in the bubble yourself.
Right.
I like it. I think the Blue Jays will get an advantage off of it.
Look, I mean, every sport should be doing a bubble of some type in some city. It's really hard to do with baseball, though, just because the amount of guys is so large. I mean, you're talking 22, 25, 27 guys a team, plus coaches. I mean, you're probably at 40, right? At least.
Look, I stop having any sympathy for these guys who get to play a game for millions of dollars. That's it. That's full stop. Full stop. I mean, right? I mean, you're making millions for playing a game, and you have to, out of a couple months out of the year, can't be around friends or family. Boo fucking who. That's my hot take for the day.
Yeah.
Look, I get it. I mean, I know you want to empathize with them, but at the same time,
I want to empathize for them having to have the choice of, do I choose my health or my profession? Where a lot of us don't have to make that choice because we're working from home. We don't necessarily have to leave. So do I think they should? Okay,
so let me ask you this. You now make $5 million a year doing exactly what you're doing right now. Only difference is you got to do it in the office.
I'll be in the office tomorrow.
Exactly. And so that's why I don't want to hear any of these players whining, boo-hooing, because you know what? It's not, but it's also not the same thing as us going to the office or doing whatever jobs that we do, right? Because they're playing a game, but also two, come on, man, these guys are catered to.
Yeah.
You know, oh, I need athletic tape. Someone's running off and getting it for you. I need new shoes. Someone's running off and getting it for you.
Yeah.
If you're playing a game, you could probably tell anybody within the organization, hey, I didn't get a chance to go do this chore or this errand. Can you do it for me? They're sending an intern or someone to go do it. So these guys,
gophers.
These athletes have very, very different situations. And so when they complain about their health and safety and what do I do? Do I do this? Do I do that? It's like, come on now, dog. Like, let's calm down.
You knew months ago it wasn't about the health and safety when they came out and bitched about not wanting to play for less than full prorated salaries. They didn't say, I don't want to play because I'm scared of getting sick. If they had taken that stance originally, like, I am not playing because I'm afraid of getting sick, period. I don't care how much you pay me. Totally okay with that. If that's your stance, I have no issue with it.
Did we hear this kind of whining come out of the MLS players?
No. But
they're in a hardcore bubble.
Oh yeah, if you leave, you're gone. They send teams home.
But you know why? Because they don't make as much money as these other athletes do. It's economy of scale. It's a completely different scale.
They
need their money.
They send teams home.
Yeah.
I mean, get sick, goodbye. Like
when you're making $100,000 a season versus $100,000 for a quarter, right? I mean, these guys are a little bit more desperate.
The NBA is in a bubble too.
Yeah.
But look, I think MLB is slightly safer than the NFL just because you said, the NFL is basically like swimming in sweat wherever they go. But I don't know what's going to happen to either MLB or NFL if an entire team, not an entire team, but a lot of team members on one team get the virus. Like, do you just say, all right, you're done. Like, your season's over, wrap it up.
Yeah, you do.
I guess you have to. But while you were talking, while you were talking, I was thinking, you know what they should have done with MLB instead of a regular season? They just should have done a larger, slightly longer, like World Baseball Classic tournament.
Yes.
Like MLB. They should have done we're going to put you in a bubble in Vegas or wherever, little pods of bubbles, for the 5 or 6 teams, however you wanted to divide it. You play a round robin. Those top 2 teams or whatever, you figure out the math. I'm not doing the math in my head. Move on. You give them a week or two, put them in another bubble. You test everybody, obviously, in that week or two. Make sure nobody's positive. Then you play, whatever the next round is, and you just keep moving up. Bam, champion. Put an asterisk on it. I don't care.
I don't know, man. Like I said, I think money got in the way of all of this. I think I think that there was plenty of opportunities for these guys to do some creative stuff. Like you said, do a World Baseball Classic style. They could have done like all of these different things, all these variations. And they chose to just stick to their traditional models.
Yep.
With a few tweaks. And I think a lot of it has to do with money and how that all, and look, I think Tony Clark is just as responsible as Manfred and how all of this thing shook out. I think that they could have figured this out and they could have done a lot better of a job, but they didn't. The other NFL is as well. And we'll see what all this shakes out. I think the next time we should talk about this is when something catastrophic happens. And we'll sit by and watch.
Yeah, look, I'm very excited for opening day, which is like 2 days or 1 day. It's on Thursday. We're recording on Tuesday. I had to check. You know what I do like, though, that I've been watching a lot of the summer games? I hate to say it, but I'm a fan of those giant banner ads that they have over the seats. Not all of them, honestly. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Kind of fun.
I think that they should have been, they should cover up more of the seats. I think they should cover up all the seats and just sell those. Do something more interesting.
Well, yeah, I just thought it was.
I don't like seeing empty seats. That's why I'm saying just cover them up.
That's why they're doing it. They've got those giant ads over them, and then they've got the cardboard cutouts.
Yeah.
Some teams do, not every team.
Yeah, they're still making money off of that too.
Oh, yeah, but as long as they don't put Osama in there, I think they'll be fine. Who was it that did that?
Soccer.
Yeah, of course it was. Footy.
It's like a Euro league. Anyway. Oh, well. Till next time.
What else? Nothing? That's it?
That's it. That's all I got.
Tapping out?
I'm tapping out.
All right.
Tapping out.
Whatever. You're going to be Gustafson. Oh,
yeah.
I went there.
Yeah. I'm DJ Schroep. That's Dustin Ovitz. We'll see you next time.